Obviously, I'm trying to do a screencast here to show some examples of what I'm looking for, as well as some advice, things about you should be doing. It might be a little bit clumsy here. There may be interrupted by family members or barking dogs or whatever. I've had to start this over 3 times so far. Let's go ahead and give this a try. This student is unnamed, but will know she'll know who she is there. I don't think that she even volunteered for this, but still will receive the 10% bonus. Go ahead and bring the highlighting tool up here. Clear that out. And something happened in the transfer of the file, so that the name got bumped over to the right there. That's all right. It sometimes happens in transferring it over. But one thing I want to point out is that when doing the MLA format heading, make sure that you drop down your name, my name, double space down to English 3U, double space down to the date. Also normally should have last name and page number in the upper right hand corner, and then that will continue in each succeeding page. You have last name and then 2, then last name 3 for page 1, 2, 3, and so on. Clear that out and move down into the actual content of this journal. Okay, taking a look here. Obviously, it's a Kite Runner Journal number 1. No problem with the name of the title there, but what I do have is when you're doing your titles, make sure that it's exactly the same font and type as the text that's in the body there. So down here we have the Kite Runner by Kala Jose. That's in 12-point font, Times New Roman. The title should be that as well. The title should also be either underlined or italicized. I prefer that you italicize it. Journal number 1 should be on the same line as this part of the title, Kite Runner Journal number 1. Put it all in 12-point font and so on. Make sure you indent your first word in a paragraph. Let's go ahead and clear it out and look at the actual actual content here. The Kite Runner by Colin Hosseini is an unforgettable, extraordinary, and powerful novel. Throughout the first half of the novel, we see how a young boy grows up over 20 years, makes mistakes, and later has to live with the guilt of the pain he calls himself and others. In the novel, we see a couple of major themes: oppression, loyalty, jealousy, guilt, and regret. It's a good start. Now, I did say to you that I wanted you to avoid using first and second person in formal writing, but at this point it's okay, because I said it was all right to use informal tone of writing in a journal setting there. So we here and down here is okay to use, but in the formal essay itself, you cannot use I, me, we, you, ours, us, and so on, unless it's in a quotation. So let's clear that out and notice that there's an ambitious claim. We see a couple of major themes. Themes, always a very important word for an English teacher: oppression, loyalty, jealousy, guilt, and regret. So I want to hear some more about those things there. And since it's said in the first paragraph, we expect to see a lot more of those things later on. Now, when I looked over this first paragraph, I was a little bit dubious there, because it seems to be running long on just retelling a plot. And if you see the words, and yours is just a plot rehash, plot retelling, you're getting into dangerous territory. It's not analysis, it's just plot retelling. But let's see what happens here. First chapter is a glimpse we see of the main character, Amir's present life. He's a grown man living in San Francisco, California, and so on. But then she jumps down into analysis. It is shown that the story is being narrated in first person. Okay, so talking about analysis there, narration, first person, directly perceived through Amir's eyes. He tells the reader as a foreshadowing. It tells the reader as a foreshadowing that he became what I am today at the age of 12 on a frigid, overcast day in winter of 1973. I remember the precise moment, crouching behind a crumbling mud wall, peeking into the alley. I realized I'd keep peeking into that deserted alley for 26 years. And then a very telling summation. Here begins a 12 chapters long extended flashback into Amir's unsettling past. So we have clues as to what's going to be said and what the significance of that is. He has a sinister past, an unsettling past, and what is coming. The next 12 chapters are looking back into when he was younger and how that has been a formative influence for him. It also tells us something about Khaled Hosseini's writing style, writing extended narrative in flashback form. Then we have background form here. Amir growing up in Afghanistan, in Kabul, and going through some sociological analysis, talking about the Hazaras and the ethnic differences, and also the religious differences, but finally pointing out that they are a lower class. So Amir has a friend who is a Hazara, and they are good friends, but this friend Hassan is also lower class, and Amir is not all that proud of his relationship with Hassan the Hazara, because Amir is of the ethnic group, the Pashtuns. Notice that then the student makes a point of pointing out the loyalty as a theme in these chapters. In these chapters, loyalty becomes a major theme, but also a major issue. So it's not only a tool in the writing, the structure of the book, but it's an issue within the telling of the story. Getting down into brass tacks such as conflict. So he gets in. So talking about the conflict in 1973. Based on an event that took place, something called a kite running. An annual kite fighting event. Used to be a big event in Afghanistan. And Amir wins the kite fighting battle there, and Hassan, that's where the title comes from. He is the kite runner. He has some sort of almost mystical ability to know where, when a kite has, the string has been cut, where it's going to fall, and Hassan goes to get the specially prized last kite that is falling somewhere. Hassan goes, he finds it, and he's bringing it back to his friend Amir. When some bullies find Hassan and they threaten him, demand the kite, Hassan refuses because he's loyal to his Pashtun friend Amir, and they brutalize him, they rape him, and Amir, the narrator of the book, watches and does not stand for his friend. He's in hiding, and allows this all to happen. I could step into that alley, stand up for Hassan the way that he had stood up for me in the past, and accept whatever happened to me, or I could run. In the end, I ran. Okay? Notice the in-text citation here. Since it's citing only from one source, from the kite runner, correctly using simply the page number. You don't put page 82, simply put in parentheses 82, that denotes the page number, and after close parentheses, then you have the period ending the sentence. Also, I like the way that she has worked a quotation into a sentence. When Amir brings the kite to Baba, quote begins here. It goes straight into the quote. Baba held me close to him, and so on. That's a good way to fold a quotation right into a sentence, although you don't want to have what are called orphan quotes. You want to be able to explain those. Moving further down, we have here the theme of guilt, and then a chronological jump here, moving when Amir and his father have to leave Afghanistan to go to the United States, and so on. This is a good journal. It's a good start for the checkpoint 1. And even though it's not required, have a little bit of summation here. So far, this novel has been a powerful representative of the themes. It's a restatement: oppression, loyalty, and guilt. Even as a man, Amir is still feeling consequences of the choices he made as a 12-year-old boy. As for the rest of the book, I'm excited to see how he chooses to overcome his guilt and be good again. And that's something that I jumped right over. Whoops. Sorry, Tara. That the book is all about a statement that a long-standing friend had made to him. There is a way to be good again. And that's what the book is about. It's not only about these themes of oppression, loyalty, guilt, and so on, but it's about redemption, atonement, and purification. And that's the second half of the book. We'll stop it at that point. And the next recording will be about this person's notes.